put you in the baseline.
Hello and welcome everyone, Tyrael here, and I decided it was time to go over the topic of GoWiWi, as in a GoWiWi guide. I made one a very long time ago, and now I think it's time we revamped it. But there are many types of GoWiWi, and I'm only going to be covering one in this video. I'm eventually going to go over all of them, but not today, and probably not this weekend, but soon. This one that I'm going to go over right now is your basic Townhall 10, it requires freeze spells. Basic Townhall 10, bread and butter, no lure, no jump, breaking the walls, using a freeze spell, using 2 freeze spells actually, and that's what I'm going to be going over with this video, and I'm going to be trying to show you what to do and what not to do. Now, I'm not the best in the world with it, but I can easily 2-star just about any base, and 3-star some bases. It's not as big of a 3-star army as it used to be with multi-target Infernos now, but it is still a very powerful army, and can 3-star some people. Basically, the first thing we're going to look at is what not to do. What was happening was, I was looking for a base, and I looked away for a little bit, then I looked back and realized I'd found a base worth attacking, and it was already about 15 seconds into my 30 seconds, so I didn't really have any time to plan this attack, and I didn't really think it through too much. It doesn't go that badly, but basically you saw that my golems got split apart and 2 of them bunched up because of those Tesla. Outside Tesla will do that, and there's not much you can do about it. Once you see them popping up, you get a general idea that they're there on the outside, and you can maybe compensate for it, but in the end, there's not much you can do. Your golems are going to go for them, and you're going to have to distract them, or else your troops are going to die. But that's actually a topic for another video, what the Tesla on the outside are really doing. And my wall breakers weren't really going for the Town Hall compartment there, so I just decided not to deploy them. Otherwise, I would have broken up in the side compartments like I did all the way up there on the top side, and I would have just gone way off course. I would have broken the left as well, and I wouldn't be going where I needed to go. My free spells were absolutely terrible. I only froze 1 defense at a time with each free spell. Those free spells were terrible, so I'm going to actually be showing good ones later on in the video. This is the what not to do. Don't fail with your free spells. Don't just deploy your golems as you see these Tesla popping up. Try and compensate for the fact that the Tesla are going to pull you around a little bit. And actually don't let the clan castle split into 2 groups and only be able to lightning 1. And also don't fail to freeze them if you're going to try and freeze them. But I still was able to get the 2-star. That's one good thing that you can see right there. I'm deploying a constant stream of my excess wall breakers to protect my wizards as they get the 50%. And I'm actually going to get a little bit over 50% on this base, which for how bad the attack started isn't that bad in the end. But there were some mistakes here, and the free spells were absolutely terrible on this one. This is what not to do. So from now on, we're going to be looking at what you should do. So where we're going to start is making decisions. First off, where to attack from. Now, I could come directly from the top, but that's not my best option. Instead, I'm coming from the side that is closest to that single target Inferno Tower, because I don't have a jump spell. I need to get through a lot of walls. I do not need to deal with a multi-target Inferno Tower while I'm breaking through the walls. I'm spreading out my witches a little bit, just getting them a little line across so they spread out their skeletons. I'm letting that golem die. That's one decision I made. I let that golem die just so that I could save my free spells. I'm dropping my first free spell now. My wall breakers go in. Even without that rage spell, they got through all of the walls. With the rage spell, if I deployed it a second sooner, I could get through all level 11 walls. If all those level 7 walls were level 11 walls, I would have gotten through anyways. The Town Hall is already down. We're only at 24%, but I still have a rage spell, and both my heroes are doing great. My free spell, that was calculated. It landed on top of their Archer Queen, their Expo, and their Tesla. So that did pretty well. I decided to rage my Queen because my Queen is going to get more work done. My King's on a wall. Obviously, Queen's the proper choice for that if I have to pick between the 2. And now I'm just trying to get some buildings down with my wizards, but there isn't that much that isn't covered, but I do have a couple buildings, and it's clear that I have enough to get that 50%. Unfortunately, I did not judge the distance on the cannon correctly, but I still have these 2 bottom buildings. I'm going to get the 50%. So this is generally actually a hard base to attack and get a 2-star on, basically because either you attack from the bottom and get the 50%, or you attack from the top and get just the Town Hall and then get stuck. Luckily with this guy, I did pretty well. It's partially because of his lower level walls. A huge thing about GoWiWi is bringing a lot of wall breakers. I'm bringing 19, Some people bring as many as 24. If they're not bringing a jump spell, you'll see like 24 wall breakers, 22 wall breakers, because GoWiWi is all about breaking through the walls and tearing open the entire base all the way to the core and then some, because this relies heavily on the movement, and you're actually going to see that in this. I'm going to come back to it. I failed a little bit with the wall breakers, spread them out a little bit too much, lost a few, and I also screwed up the clan castle on this one. It's split, so I had to decide which one I would lightning. What you want to do is deploy your troops so that all of the clan castle troops all go in one direction. You want them all going towards one direction, because if they split, and if they split well, you're going to have one witch here and one witch there, or 3 wizards there and 3 wizards on the other side, and you won't be able to lightning them, and your troops will get screwed up. But right there you can see I'm raging the wall breakers, and that was actually a little bit too much. My wall breakers are going crazy. They just opened the entire place up all the way back to the outside. I wasn't really trying to do that, I was just trying to get towards the core, and it worked really well. Raged wall breakers will wreck. But when you use your freeze spell, you have to decide, do you want to freeze the single target or the multi-target? In this one, I chose both times to freeze the single target Inferno Tower, because it was targeting my king. The multi-target was targeting both heroes and a golem, so it was maybe hitting 2 stuff, or maybe just hitting skeletons. It wasn't doing that much. But the biggest thing to protect out of all your troops, you're probably not going to believe this if you didn't already know it, is your wall breakers. What you want to do with your freezes and your rages is help your wall breakers. Wall breakers are more important. Your troops are strong enough to take it themselves. If the base is wide open from raged, frozen wall breakers, your troops will be able to take the Townhall without any spells, or maybe with 1 rage spell or 1 freeze spell. They don't need that much to take it out. It is a very powerful attack, but as soon as you get stuck up against a wall like here, or my Barbarian King got stuck up against a wall, like he's dead right up against a wall and barely hurt it, once you get stuck on a wall, that's when your raid ends. So it's all about the wall breakers. That's actually why Chief Pat is such a good attacker with GoWiWi. It's because he's very good with wall breakers. I've actually mentioned this before when he attacked Daddy in a clan war. That's who he attacked. I was trying to remember. But yeah, he attacked Daddy in our clan war, and he opened the base up really well. And in a lot of his videos, you can see him opening the base very, very well. You want to just have this death of walls, this absolute destruction of walls that you can see at the top of this. You want that. That is what you want to see. You want to see yourself all the way at the Town Hall with all these broken walls, and you want just openings multiple places in each layer, just so you can flood through everywhere. You don't want all your troops bunching up, so maybe 2 breaks in each one is good. And now you can see something. I actually want to break this beforehand, because my golems will go together is the problem. And unfortunately I didn't fix that. I didn't break it wide enough to fix that. But what I was trying to do was get my golems to spread a little bit, because there's no defenses on the outside of this, on the outside compartment. My golems are going to bunch up, and I have no choice at this point. But my wall breakers are going in. Luckily, there's no splash. I'm going to rage that out there just so I can take out those archer towers, because they're pretty powerful. They're actually more powerful than the expos. I can't say that enough, and I need to do a video on it. But basically, archer towers are one of the most powerful defenses right now, because they're level 13, they fire so fast. You want to take them down. They can take out your wall breakers faster than some other things. The only things that take it out faster are your wizard towers and your multi-target inferno towers, and maybe mortars if they land on them. I'm actually going to go ahead and freeze that, because I want to save what I can. I want to save my witch, and I'm going to anticipate with the rage. My queen could have gone off the wrong direction, but I had faith in her, and she did go the right direction. Got to freeze on 4 defenses right there. I don't think I could have gotten the expo. I don't think that was a possibility. My king's getting stuck on this wall right here. It's going to take him way too long to get through it. Oh my god. Yeah, he's taking too long. And he just abandons the wall when it's at half health because something else opens up. Now he's dead. So the walls are what are going to kill you. It's all about spreading your golems, spreading your witches, getting a good clear with your wizards, and then breaking your way to the core. The main thing is breaking your way. You can bunch your troops up a little bit. You can screw that up a little bit and still do fine, still get at least a 2-star on a max Town Hall 10. But if you don't break your way to the core, you're not going to get it unless you're incredibly lucky. So what you need is just that open base. It's the most important part of it. It's called a GoWiWi, but it doesn't even mention in its name the most important troop in it, the wall breaker. The wall breaker is what it is. Or the jump spell if you prefer to carry jump spells. I actually prefer to carry jump spells, but since I'm doing the bread and butter, I didn't carry it this time. And that is basically how you go wee-wee. That's your most basic guide. There's definitely other compositions that I can touch on. Definitely Townhall 9 stuff. Stuff with jump. Stuff with more witches, less more wizards, less wizards. Less golems, more or less wall breakers, whatever. I can touch on it with or without heroes. Without heroes is pretty tough because this does rely pretty heavily on the heroes. They're most of the time what takes the Town Hall, but not always. You can often see wizards taking the Town Hall, but mostly it's the heroes. So that is how you go wee-wee. The very basics. There's a lot more I could go into, a lot more little details that people can also point out, and I'm sure they will in the comments. But those are the main details. You need to protect your wall breakers, spread your troops, and freeze well. Get as much as you can with the freeze and decide which you want to protect. You don't really care to protect your golems. They're not that important. You want to protect your witches and wizards if you've already broken to the core. But if you're not in the core, protect your wall breakers, rage your wall breakers, and rage your heroes. Even though they get less from the rage nowadays, after an update they get less percentage, still rage your heroes. It does something and it does good. And if you don't have your heroes up, you gotta be careful. You probably won't be able to do a max base because they're a lot tougher and you do need your heroes. But an unmaxed base, I'm sure you can easily take it without your heroes, and you're gonna want to be freezing really well if you don't have your heroes, because you have to keep those wizards and those witches up. That is the very basic Town Hall 10 bread and butter go wee-wee attack. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Tyrael, out.